there may be need to have a more punitive rate structure that allow for a high degree of conservation, especially during times when we do experience drought.
What does this more punitive rate structure look like?
First of all, when we do have times of drought, we see very little change in terms of consumption, because oftentimes the whole issue of prohibition order and the issue of managing that process and walking the street, Basil will know that very well in terms of the early days when that order was actually enforced. But one of the things that one has to look at is in your own rate structure as a utility, should it therefore be not one wherein at the time of drought where persons consume beyond a certain quantum, should the rate become such punitive that it is so a discouraging cost? So persons may now be forced to actually conserve and keep consumption within a particular level. It is something, it's not something that we have in front of our regulator, but certainly is something that we will definitely be looking at in our preparation work to go to a regulator, because oftentimes during a drought period, the demands are higher because obviously time get, the temperature is much higher, and people are likely to use more water during such time. So in that instance, it's really to look to see what would be a justifiable rate and a rate structure during such period, knowing very well that we're going to have droughts for years to come, and probably more frequent droughts.
So essentially, it will be more of a peak system like the JPS does have, where you're being charged more for each liter of water, or you would be charged more for each liter.
It's different. What I'm saying, it could possibly take the format of a rate that kicks in once the meteorological office declared that there's a drought. So a different rate structure just kicked in other than the normal one.
And would that rate structure be one which is higher than what existed before?
Higher at certain consumption band than what exists before. That's you follow what I'm saying?
Yes. So essentially, if you're now going over 200 liters, for example, you would now be paying a higher rate.
If we are consuming that during a declared drought period.
Understood. So you're now in the preparatory stages for making that proposal?
We are making plans to go to that. We're just in the process of engaging our consultant to undertake the whole preparatory work for cost of study assessment, cost of service study assessment, and also to prepare for rate application to the Office of Utilities Regulation.